Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Celtic Files and another subscriber replay. Today we have a replay of an American heavy tank, the T32. While the T32 is situated between the formidable T29 of Tier 7 and the Tier 9 M103, it pretty much plays like a T29. It shares the same strengths that is great turret armor and depression of the cannon, and the same weaknesses, for instance a weak hull. If you are used to driving a T29, you will feel right at home. But the T32 isn't quite as universally liked as the T29, and the blame for that lies with its gun. The T32 is the exact same cannon that the T29 gets. While it's a damn fine gun of Tier 7, the 198mm penetration can feel a bit lacking, especially when you are in Tier 10 matches. But enough of the theory. I have added a link in the description to a tank review of the T32 by Jingles, in case you want to learn a bit more about the T32. Okay, time for some action. We are on Sand River in a Tier 9 encounter battle. QWERTY Tax from the American server is playing his T32, equipped with a 105mm cannon. So right from the get-go, I want to point out that QWERTY Tax does not have any premium ammunition. That is a bit unusual, especially for the T32. But we'll see if he can make it work or not. So he's making his way up the hill, and gets a little assistance from an FCM. Great shot at the WZ-131. He damaged him, and also blew his tracks off. Though for some reason, the WZ does not repair his tracks in GTA though. Let's see what that has gotten him. The FCM goes full ham, and gets the ram kill. But at what cost? The FCM must blow his own tracks off. He too elects that using a repaired pack isn't necessary. I tend to disagree. The opponent's AS6 gets the kill. QWERTY, whom I from now on be referring to as Q, is in a perfect position for this T32. He lands a solid hit on the Tiger, and the Tiger's return shot bounces. The Tiger is trying to get into cover, but Q manages to score another hit. Penetration. Right now Q has no reason to move. He could not ask for more. No RD, and his T32 is hull down. Looks like he's trying to line up a shot at the IS-6. That wasn't ever going to work. He pulls back, and there's yet another bounce. Can he get a shot at the Panther? Indeed he can. Q has finally taken a small amount of damage. And there again. I think the Panther and Tiger are shooting high explosives at him. And another one. This one was more serious. The question is, how many HE shells do Panther and Tiger have? I bet, not many. Penetration. The Panther tried again, and Q gets him again. I am thinking that the Panther driver must be getting a bit frustrated by now. Penetration. Great shot at the Tiger. Looks like the Panther is back for more. Really? Q hits him, and the Panther's return shot bounces. Now watch the chat, guys. The Panther driver is all but hurt. Poor thing. Q rushes his shot at the T30. That was a good opportunity. But the T30 missed his shot as well, so no harm done. Q's ally of the IS continues to be ineffective. When all is said and done, he'll have done 0 damage. Big mistake by the T30 to expose his side like this, and Q is there to take full advantage. The Tiger bounces off the T32's turret yet again. The Panther seems to have been high explosive shell left, and scores a hit on the T32. Q has lost about 40% of his health, and I think all of it was due to high explosive shells of both the Panther and the Tiger. These guys really are doing what they can against the 300mm of turret armor at the T32. If a T32 is hull down, like Q was in this match, it is nearly impossible to dig out from range without artillery support. The Panther shoots HE again, and again, Q scores a good hit. But now guys, take a look at the mini-map. Next to the IS, there is also a Lorraine. The Allies are trailing by 2 tanks, but that is about to change. The Lorraine is moving west, and that will put him in a perfect flanking position. Meanwhile, Q is keeping the 3 enemies occupied. His shot at the Panther misses, but he bounces the titer yet again. And now it's party time. The Lorraine takes out the Panther, but he isn't done just yet. He is getting behind the T30, and that is how you outplay your opponents. The T30 never stood a chance. Can't you get the titer as well? Yes, indeed he can. Just 30 seconds ago, the Allies were trailing by 2 tanks, and now they are actually leaving. And what does the team have to say? That's right. The AMX driver calls this a defeat and blames the Allies at the northern flank. He then proceeds lecturing Q and his comrades on battle tactics. But winning the north was so crucial, and in just a moment, it will become very clear why. So there is a T32 spotted dead ahead. This poor guy won't even know what hit him. Oh my god, the T95 is also here. Nice shot there at the T32. The T95 has realized what's been happening, and he slowly turns his tank around. Q however prioritizes the T32, and he takes him out. The IS is another attempt at doing damage, but the T95 puts him out of his misery. Q now closes the distance to the T95. It looks like he is going to the right, but then he jinxes to the left. The T95 auto-returned his tank, and Q got beside him. The T95 is getting hit by the Allied WT4. Can't you secure the kill? Oh yes. That was an excellent maneuver. He made the T95 look pretty stupid. The score is even, and the enemy is capping. But since this is an encounter game, capping takes a very long time. Q drives up the slope, where he can put the excellent gun depression to good use. And he gets the kill on the IS. But there are still 3 opponents in the cap circle. One of them is a Conqueror. Q plants a good hit into the side of the Conqueror, and it looks like he will have another opportunity. Indeed. Now the Conqueror is on low health, and one more hit will seal his fate. Beautiful shot from third person, taking out the Conqueror. Check out this WT4. He seems to think that it is his job to reset the cap. Not a good idea. Another great shot from third-person view. The cap is now almost fully reset. The enemy has an IS-3, a T-28, and a T-69, against the Allied WT-4, AMX-12T, a Super Pershing and Q and a T-32. The WT-4 decides to move in to stop the cap. He misses, but he has taken fire in return. This is not what you do in a glass cannon TD, throwing your tank away like that. Really a bad call by the WT4 driver in my opinion. Q has a few bounces against the T28. This is where you can see the limitations of the T32's cannon. A few premium shells would have come in handy in this situation. But good deal, Q gets the T28 again. So here we can see that the WT4 has completely put himself out of play. He is spotted, and he is a one-shot kill for the IS-3. Luckily for him, the IS-3 goes for the Super Pershing and fails to do any damage. Meanwhile, Q has been less than successful from his current position against the T-28. So close, but that one went slightly high. So the situation has not changed much, and I think Q decides to change his angle. Here we have the Allied WT4 again. And can you guess what happens next? That was just a question of time. And worst of all, neither the Super Pershing nor the WT4 did any damage to the IS-3. Q is still trying his luck against the enemy T-28. Can he get him this time? Oh yes, great shot. That was Q's 6th kill, and what does he get in return? The WT4 driver starts bitching at Q. Just check the chat guys. It is baffling how the guy in the top tier tank that makes a tactical mistake accuses the one player of his team that has 6 kills of doing nothing. And all that after Q32 had killed 2 enemies that were actually in the cap circle. The WT4 driver continues with his insults, and now finally the Lorraine driver weighs in. 2 versus 2. Each side has 1 autoloader and 1 heavy tank each. This is going to get interesting. The IS-3 is still in the cap, and the T-69 was spotted dead ahead. The AMX is far away, so Q will need to handle the T-69 himself. The T-69 misses, and Q scores a hit. The T-69 bounces twice, but so does Q. The T-69 fires his last shell into the T-32's tracks, and Q is now in a very good position. While he is reloading, he poses no danger to the T-32. The T-69 should have gotten out of there already. The right play here would have been to cut the T-32 towards the IS-3, which is approaching. But the T-69 apparently had other ideas. Unfortunately, they were all the wrong ones. Now the IS-3 is just moments away, and this isn't over by any means. What? 40 damage. Oh, I just realized that Q is out of regular shells. He's only got HE shells left. Q will need the help of the AMX, who was racing towards him. Q was face-hugging the IS-3, and it is the smart move. The AMX has arrived and begins doing damage. Side of the turret, if Q only had some regular ammunition left. That one actually did good damage, but he did take a big hit in return. This here is a great move. Q realizes that the opponent wants to escape, and he drives the T-32 right into the enemy's tracks. He is now out of ammo, and this buys them crucial time, while the AMX is reloading. The IS-3 takes out Q's T-32. If he had known that the T-32 was out of ammo, I think he would have shot the AMX instead. But as it stands, he did not, and the AMX can hopefully secure the kill. And indeed he can. That was very close. But for Q, this game was absolutely brilliant. He got the top gun, as well as high caliber. And look at the base XP. That's 2,100. What a result. Naturally this performance earned him the Ace Tacker badge. But now you guys want to take a guess how much damage he did. Check this out. He did more than 7,800 damage in his T-32. Wow. That is almost 3 times the damage of the next best player on his team. I have never come close to this in my T-32. Q32 also got some good spotting damage, base defense points, and his strong turret armor held up very nicely. If I had to make one change, I would change the weapons loadout just a little bit. Ditch some of the HE shells and regular AP rounds for APCR shells, and the next time you are in a game like this, you end up with a Radley Walters medal. So absolutely awesome game there from Q32. Thank you very much for sending that one in. If you have a truly special game you wish to share, you can send me an email. The email address can be found on my About page. Ideally you want to upload the replay to whatreplays.com and send me the link. So that's all I have time for today. I'd appreciate it if you rated the video down below. Take care guys, and until next time, have a good one.